Oh, and yes, we're live on Facebook. So hello and welcome to the show. But before we begin, let's have some intros.
Are we live?
Yes. Well, on Facebook. I'll send you the link in a second. And welcome to the Way of Conscious Mindfulness. My name is Sifu Boggy. We've had to do it a slightly different way around because it was a little bit skew with, but it's okay. We've sorted it now. So welcome to the Way of Conscious Mindfulness. As I said, my name is Sifu Boggy. Sifu means guide, means someone who points you along the way, who guides you on your path. Boggy means the balance between the chaos and the calmness. And for the last 38 years now, I have been studying the Taoist arts. And the Tao means the path, the way, the path, the balance. And I've been studying the arts like Tai Chi, Tonglong, Qigong, threw myself off now. Tita, Tuina, Chinese massage, reflexology, Taoist life coaching, NLP, and many, many other techniques, because my teachers very much believed everything you learn enhances everything else you do. And I also was trained to help life coaches, healers, especially supercharge themselves and ensure that they never burn out. So that's what I do. What's this show all about? This show is The Way of Conscious Mindfulness, which is a weekly and regular podcast show discussing spirituality and science, balancing it with health and well-being and mind, body and spirit with a Taoist twist. What does the Tao mean? The Tao means the way, the path, the balance. Now, surprise, surprise, this isn't a normal show. Anything with me in it most definitely is not normal. Each show, we either have a subject or a guest. And today we have a very lovely guest. And our goal is to have an open discussion to help us find new skills, new ways, new techniques to balance our very own personal way, path, or Tao. So without further ado, let's bring on the lovely lady herself. So good. Well, actually, we're both in the same time zone for a change. So good afternoon, Esté. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm very well, thanks.
Awesome.
How are you?
Yes, I am. Apart from a few technical difficulties, which it seems to be normal on this show. We're always having technical difficulties. Apart from that, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. So, right. So I'm not entirely sure because we didn't get to do it the way I wanted to do it. So I'm just going to check to see if there's anybody, because unfortunately, Facebook tends to not like sharing out YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So I will try to share this. I'm just sharing this now myself onto my own page, and then also I will share it out onto some of the groups as well. And while I'm doing that, I'll ask you, so this is your show, this is The Way of Esté and the Naked Truth. So what is your way? What is your personal Tao?
Right. So my personal Tao is a windy up and down kind of Tao. If we look at my entire life, but recently, recently I've become able to communicate very clearly what is my way actually, as I learned it really last year, 2019, that it became really, really clear that my way is the way of the heart and the way of the mother. And just wanted to say why I'm called, why my channel. So I run a YouTube channel. It's called The Naked Truth. And if people want to find it, by the way, you have to search The Naked Truth Esté Cann. And that's how you will find me on YouTube. But so why that is the title of my channel, the name of my channel, is because who I am is I help people to remember the naked truth of who they really are. So that is a kind of part of my way. But where, how is that? Where is that? Is through the heart.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. There's actually in the UK there's a chef. So now I forget his name. No, well, he was known as the Naked Chef, but not naked as in naked, but it's the naked truth, as in honest, nothing hidden. And that always reminds me of in China, you had the barefoot doctors, and originally the barefoot doctors were mainly women. And it was it was a metaphor. Is the barefoot meaning they used what was at hand. They were travelers. They normally looked after one or two villages, and they went from village to village. But the barefoot was that they were a traveling doctor, but also they would use they would use things at hand. So they would, if herbs, they'd just pick herbs off the side of the road, or your food. They could use food as medicine as well in China, and it would just be massage, and it would no fancy stuff. It would just your very simple, very basic, very plain way of living, and a very way of healing as well.
I relate to them very much.
Yeah, they're very, very cool. There's actually, he's a guy, but there's a Stephen Russell, the barefoot doctor, known as, and I was actually trained in those same skills. So I have those, and what's called the Dragon Dog Shaman as well, which is more the shamanic side. But the Dragon Dog, the Taoists and the Dragon Dog Shaman in China were almost like quantum physicists, because they believe very much in energy, and so. And the barefoot doctors were like spiritual. They're like spiritual scientist doctors. Is that to them like everything's energetic? So is they use the 5 elements, and they would see things, and so they would look at your, you look at your tongue, look at your eyes, take your. There's actually more than one pulse. There's several pulses in the wrist, and they'll take the pulses in different ways, and then from that they'll go, oh, you need more this, or you need more earth, you need more wood, more this, more that. So it was far more. They were very much into a sort of scientific way of, oh, is this and this, or is this and this. Where the Dragon Dog Shaman were far more, just is what it is, and so there's 2 ways in Taoism. You have the 10,000 thing way. So there's lots of, if this happens, you do this, this, and this. If this happens, you do this and this. And then you have the true Tao way, which is just go with the flow. You just do what naturally happens. But this is why we train, like in martial arts, you train all those different techniques so that they then happen naturally. So you can actually use them naturally. So, but anyway, that's enough about me. So where did this all begin for you then? When did this all start?
Well, it really started with being born, the way I was being born, and where. So I was born in socialist Hungary to a single mom in a time when single mom was not a thing. So she was literally a hero and a pioneer and a renegade, very much like I am. She was a Sagittarius. I'm a Sag rising, and I have a lot of Sag in my chart anyway. But that's just to say, I am from a family of renegades. And literally like on a soul level, on a 5, 6, 7, whatever many D level. Literally, I had this insight recently that my dad and my mom and me, we are from the same soul family, and we came in to accomplish certain karma and dharma. And it's literally like, it literally had to be exactly the way that it was, so that I could accomplish the dharma that now I'm accomplishing. I've been put into my dharma, my soul path, my ikigai, last year, towards the end of last year. And before that, it was just so like going towards that, and and breaking down my resistance to get to my soul path. But anyway, I just saw that like literally my dad and my mom like literally brought me in. Like they brought me in, and it had to be like a certain kind of like a certain level of how pristine their connection was, so that I could come through with the level of remembrance that I came through with, of who we truly are, really, in truth. um, and then it went on, my mom becoming very, very spiritual, and reading a lot of self-help, and this started to happen around when I was 10 years old. So I read a lot of spiritual and self-help literature from the age of 10 and 12, and then I went to school and tried to talk about it, and it wasn't popular at all. And then my mom's life just stayed the same, nothing changed. The struggle and the pain and the sorrow and the complaining and the like, all that stayed with my mom. Like I really wanted to see her being happy, and that just never happened, even despite all her spiritual practice and everything. So by the age of maybe 12 or 13, I decided spirituality sucks, and I don't want any of it. And then I was a very unspiritual person for a very long time. Even though I went to study philosophy on university for 5 years, went for a master's, didn't get, like, I did everything except the end, the dissertation. So because by that time I was like, well, this is boring, this doesn't give me anything, it doesn't. I thought I'm gonna get the answers to life in university studying philosophy and I didn't. And so after that I again become an even more unspiritual person. But of course, universe has a way of not letting us stir too far from the path that was cut out for us. And eventually I was being brought back to this path, my soul path, my dharma that I'm on now, like in true service to all. And that was through a series of events. Like it really started in 2017 when like I was brought to my knees, like nothing worked. I was about to become homeless. And then in 2018, 2019, I was homeless for a while. Like I wasn't like on the street, but I was practically homeless with nowhere to go and no money to pay for anything. And then plus, so my career didn't work, my living didn't work, my money didn't work, and my relationships didn't work. And so 2017 was the first wave of being brought to my knees and turning really intentionally and openly now towards spirituality. And there's this moment in 2017 when I'm complaining to my friend, and she says, you know, Esté, when nothing else helps, sometimes spirituality is the answer. And at that point I was like, I'm open to try anything. Like just get me out of here. And that went on until last year. This attitude of I'm willing to try anything, just get me out of this shit, because my life really doesn't work. Like it were. And now with the level of spiritual development that I'm at, I now see that's not true, because it always works. Because you know, whatever arises, love that, and whatever arises, that's what it looks like when it works. That's what it looks like when it works. When there are breakdowns in life, that's what it looks like when it works. Because I didn't die, I didn't go hungry, I wasn't on the street. But to me at that time, it was like, fuck, like I'm homeless, it doesn't work, right? I was couch surfing, like I was staying at different friends, like they did huge favors for me. And so in 2017, this friend, when I'm complaining to her, and she says, you know, sometimes spirituality is the answer when nothing else helps, and she gives me this book called The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein. And that was really the first time when I really like opened, and every exercise and every mantra and everything that's in that book, I religiously followed. And it was just you know, it was a good starting point. Like for anybody who has never done any spirituality, it's a good book, because it's really like a very quite light, and it's like a quick fix. There are some some coping mechanisms in it. And for that time, for me, it was perfect to just turn me towards the Tao that I'm on now. And then afterwards, the next year, I met my twin flame in 2018. Was it? Yeah, 2018 August, I think. July, August 2018 August. And that's what really like just literally like blasted open all my 5D gifts, you know, tarot reading, like feeling everything. That's really opened up all my systems to feel again. It was very hard. It was another one of those instances when I was brought down to my knees by the universe, this time harder than ever and lower than ever, like literally facing the mud type, like dark night of the soul, absolute dark night of the soul, like body, mind, spirit, fine body, everything going through a really hard time. That was between 2018 and 2019. And then the other thing that sort of helped me on this way was 2000. So last year, 2019 March, almost a year ago, I turned to the grandmother plant medicine. If you don't know what that is ayahuasca. And ayahuasca was the other thing that was like, again, it was like, I'll try anything. I was resisting for 10 years. I was like, no, ayahuasca is not for me. And but at that point I was like, I'll do anything, just get me out of this shit, because it's just and so but anyway, anything that happened, especially after I met my twin flame, it was all to open me up to the mother and to put me into my dharma, which is what I'm doing and what the path that I'm walking now. And just a little bit to say what I mean when I say the mother, to be sure, for everybody who listens or will ever listen, mother cannot be separated from father. It's just in this 3D reality, the reality of duality and separation, where yin and yang has to be separate, but in actual real reality, mother can't be separated from father. And I just call her mother for simplicity, because I am a female. I have a female body, so and as such very suitable to be embodying the mother, really, and walk that path. And also further, what is the mother? Like, to me, mother is everything that's form and shape. Everything that even non-physical, not even non-physical form, but everything that's form is the mother, like the matrix, that grid of creation. That is what I say when I say the mother. But since mother can't be separated from father, mother is also the universe, like that which we can all be like completely plugged in to, if we allow ourselves to be so. So that's a very, very long way of replying your question. Where did this start?
No, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one. And your interpretation of the mother, are one of our fellow hosts, Robin McClendon. We call her Mother Gaia. Yeah, you two speak the same language, very much so, on your translation. And yeah, I was, there it is. I was looking for my, so the whole, this, now everybody, see in the old days they call this yin yang, and it's not yin yang, this is Tai Chi, because yin yang would be half a dark circle and half a light circle, which is opposing opposites. And this is what you were talking about, that blend, that there is no true separation, that night and day, dawn's up here, dawn and dusk, it just one folds into the other. And yeah, I actually mentioned it on a couple of shows recently, that the whole thing of, in Christianity before the 1400s, it was the mother, the father, and the holy, and the child, and then it became the it became the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In the Trinity. And it's, well, actually, no, Holy Spirit, what the freaking hell's the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit was the mother, but they took away the feminine. They were trying to, move aside or eradicate the divine feminine attributes. But in the East, so, it's the spiritual warriors, it's Kuan Yin, so the yin. Kuan Yin is the divine mother. The yang is General Kuan. And then you have the child's fire, or the sacred child, which is the bit in, which would also be in the Tai Chi symbol. It's the bit in the mother, the father, and the child is like the blend of the two. So so it all makes sense. It all makes sense. It's all really, really cool.
Yeah.
So where has that led you to then? So that is your Tao. How do you express your Tao in what you do for others, or what you do today?
Right. Well, how am I expressed now is, I started this YouTube channel on my birthday last year. That was my birthday gift to myself.
Oh, cool.
To actually start this on the 12th of October 2019. And they've been telling, like, my 5D folks, guides, angels, or we can just call it the universe or the mother, like the writing was all over the wall. Like they've been telling me to start, everything's been telling me to start doing this, to start this YouTube channel since June, July last year. But there was so much integration to be done between that time, like between June, July, and October last year. There was like such an intense integration time that I just was unable to speak. And so anyway, eventually I started this YouTube channel on the 12th of October 2019. And so that is, I feel that that's really the largest, or like the main part of my Dharma that I can do, that I am able to express right now. And so what it is I read tarot cards. So that's how I serve others and serve my community. I read cards by star sign, and then I also read energy for the twin flame community, for anyone who is on the twin flame journey and is attracted by the law of attraction to watch what I'm doing. It's for them. And of course, there is no future, so everything is happening right now. So whatever I'm reading is for the right people. And I do spiritual mentoring as well. I used to do just life coaching and career coaching and long and short-term projects coaching. Up till early last year, I would have private clients to do personal coaching with them as well. But yeah, that was all blasted apart into pieces last year. So I can't really do normal life coaching anymore, like the way that I used to do. Like I used to do life coaching. I coached like something like over 2,000 people when I was working through a life coaching company. So I have a lot of experience in that. But yeah, so now it's more like spiritual mentoring, and a lot of like the clients that choose to use my service mostly come to me with relationship queries. It's something that I'm just literally noticing now that I'm talking to you. That literally most of the clients, they're all about relationships. So and from my birth chart, it would seem so that what I'm here to do, like in the long term, is talk about and communicate right relationship. And then what that will look like exactly in the 3D, we'll have to see. But it is definitely, I'm definitely something about relationships. And, you know, it's all still unfolding.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, but for now, what I do is read tarot and read energy, and I can read into any question that people have, because like literally these guys are, they they literally calibrate to the stars and calibrate to all the energy. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating to read tarot for somebody that I don't know, and them saying like, how did you know that? Like, how, you know, a stranger that I don't know, and talking about their grandchild or some new baby in the family, and them saying, yeah, my daughter just gave birth. Or like, you know, like, it's fascinating, it's amazing, you know, like it's literally like saying, like channeling stuff and saying stuff then that I wouldn't know from me. It just comes through me.
Indeed. The whole point of the cards is that if you believe in everything's connected, or you believe in quantum physics, that everything's connected to everything else. Therefore, when you tune into that person, or you're doing a reading for that person, then those cards will, in unconsciously or otherwise, they will be. They say about, there's a psychology about tarot reading on yourself, that unconsciously you sort of know where the cards actually are, and you're actually unconsciously picking the cards that are best suited for you. So in psychology, that's what they're trying to explain, how tarot cards can work, is that that unconsciously you've already, you know, as you're shuffling, you're actually seeing the cards, and then when you're picking the deck or pulling one out, you actually already, your unconscious mind already knows what it is, which was really an interesting thing. But how does that work for somebody else then, when you don't know nothing about them? How can you unconsciously pick for them, unless it's not happening from you, it's actually universally that whatever you're randomly picking, that it's actually being selected by the universe as such, or the universe picks it in a certain way. Because I've done a lot of
it is all quantum entanglements. We are all actually connected, like by, you know, it's in a way, it can be explained in a very physical way, that you know, we all have auras, electromagnetic fields around our bodies that are generated by the blood flow, the brain, and the heart. And the heart is the one that's the strongest generator, that generates the strongest electromagnetic field. And literally whatever emotions we feel from here, right? So it really impacts our electromagnetic field, which impacts the electromagnetic field around us, which in turn, that is like everywhere. So like literally, we are literally very physically connected, like, and quantum physically, definitely. I guess it's not such a mystery anymore, or it's starting to not become such a mystery how that is possible. Quantum entanglement. And when we talk about quantum entanglement, I just wanted to add that And the other thing about my sessions, sometimes it's like somebody comes for a tarot reading and I end up doing a process with them. Like if they are, especially if they are live with me, like in a one-to-one session, then it's like we do the reading and turns out that they need some kind of process. That's one of my, I don't know, so many tools and so many processes that I learned over the years. So I sometimes take people through processes within a reading, and so then it becomes really more like a spiritual mentoring session to ground something or to clear something or to integrate something, or at least start the process of integration.
No, yeah, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, grounding. Yeah, definitely grounding is very important. And as you say, I think you you're still you're still being shown what direction you're going. You're still being, you're still formatting it, or you're still creating it yourself.
Yeah.
So, because are you down near the coast? Are you at Brighton? Is that correct?
I'm in London.
Oh, you're in London. You're in
For
London
now.
way. For
now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like me, I keep saying there's two, but either the coast or the States, whichever one the universe wants me to go to first. That's what I keep saying. So it's universe, it's your choice. But yeah, so so you were saying that a lot at the moment, a lot of your clients are very relationship based. Is that, do you think that's reflective of is your if you don't want me asking, your relationship at the moment very strong, and is that why you think, is it a reflection of where you are, that you can give that information? Do you think that's why the universe is sort of pushing these sort of people towards you? Or
well, my relationship with God and with myself is very strong.
And that's good.
And the mother is, I just literally feel like the mother is taking me places where they think they them, like as in mother, father, creator, things where I need to be. And that's that's in all areas of my life. I am not in a relationship right now. So it can be a little weird that I would be talking about right relationship if I'm not in a relationship, but at the same time I am in a relationship, right? Because I am in a relationship with myself, and anyway, any relationship in our lives is only a reflection of the relationship we have with ourselves and with God, which is kind of almost the same. But
well, there was an interesting thing. Is like, when I was like 15, I used to have all these like 16, 17-year-old girls always coming to me asking about boyfriend problems. It's like, why are you asking me? But I think the universe knows what you are and what you're capable of and what you can do. And I think it's the understanding of, and that's what I sort of like, I didn't mean to pry about your relationship status, but it's interesting how, like you were saying, is that the universe is giving you all these, and it's like, well, you obviously have an understanding there, because you wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. So it's from, you have that understanding, and that's helping others.
That's one thing. Like it's like, how should I say this, right? So my mom was a single mom, as single as can be. She was a rape survivor, which happened many years before my birth. It's not with my dad. I'm not from that. My dad was actually, I think, like love at first sight with my mom, or something like that. Like, I really think my dad really, really loved my mom. My mom was a rape survivor, and it was very hard for her to open up. And in socialist Hungary, it was not the first concern of people to heal from any trauma. It was all about like basic survival stuff, not about healing, right? So I don't think my mom ever healed from that in her physical life. But anyway, so that's just, I'm saying that just to say that, like, I was born with that imprint, right? Because me as a egg, I was already in her body whenever that happened, right?
Right.
So and even being in the womb, I have some DNA memory and cellular memory and muscular memory, right? And then add to that the trauma that happened to me in my life, right? And so my mom was single, right? And so I did not have a primary imprint of how to do relationships. It's just non-existent. So I had to learn everything through my life the hard way by myself, and I'm 36 now. And I would say that until now, relationships as such has been failure after failure after failure after failure after failure. But why that is good is because failure is simply, learning. You know how Edison said, I didn't fail 1,000 times or 2,000 times making that light bulb. I just found 2,000 ways how not to do it. And I knew that eventually I was going to get there how to do it, right? And every single failure is actually a learning. And every single
hence I was going, well, when you say like failure, I don't believe it's a failure. It's just it wasn't correct. It wasn't right. And you learn. It's a lesson. It's a sifu.
And it's so good that you said exactly the way you said it, that it wasn't right. It wasn't correct. So I learned so much about right relationship, right? That's one part of what I'm saying. The other part of it that actually I interrupted myself and didn't finish to say that. So thank you for asking, because you led me back to what I was gonna say. That according to my birth chart, I have Gemini in True Node, which is about communication and like not giving a shit. And because Geminis are like so free and like they don't have systems and they're just like, I'll go in front of the camera. I don't care about light, makeup, what I'm wearing. Well, who gives a shit? I'm just me, and I'm successful like that, right? Like,
I've been out with a Gemini. Yeah.
But that's my true node, meaning that's the learning, like that's who I'm supposed to be as I'm growing through my life. Like that's the which I'm growing towards, right? I'm not there yet. I'm a Libra. Can you see? I'm a Libra. I have a system. I have lights. I have jewelry. Right? And I have Mars, Venus in Virgo, right? Both Mars and Venus in Virgo. So that's really, to me, that's about perfection in relationship, in the matters of love. And, those two opposing forces, Mars and Venus, like literally perfection in relationship. And so what I'm thinking why this is happening, that people come to me with relationship stuff, is because I have learned so much, because it was so difficult for me ever since I was ever born, and even before that I learned so because how difficult it was. I learned so much about it, and plus I think they are like mother is taking me towards what is eventually going to unfold. And recently I had an interview with Shanine, who I'm sure you know. With the Freedom Network.
Yes.
And she's also a psychic and channel and tarot reader. And she was telling me that she had a dream just before we had the interview. And she said it was about somebody quantum healing a woman and a man, like in relationship. And that the quantum healing that was necessary was about communication. And so I think that's really something that I will have to do with at some point in the future, because the future is now. But I think that's something that's that's unfolding. Like it's interesting, because right now I wouldn't think, my ego wouldn't think about myself that I would be able to create a quantum healing method for couples but according to that dream, it could be possible. But at the same time, all I know is I am here on this planet to talk about right relationship. And you know, and what is right relationship? And I've been learning that my whole life. And what I know now about right relationship is not only like in the 3D, and it's mainly not in the 3D. And as we are heading into the age of Aquarius now, which is going to be the age of telepathy, right relationship will be so essential, because with telepathy, you can't lie, you can't pretend, you can't hide anything, because everything will be felt. So right relationship will be when everything will be so transparent. Right relationship will be just the core of things, that and discernment. Right relationship and discernment. And by the way, discernment is essential to lead to right relationship. And what do I say when I mean right relationship, right? And it's kind of what I said, that the primary relationship that is the blueprint for every other relationship in our lives is the relationship with ourselves, which is, it sounds a bit schizophrenic, it's weird. And I can talk more about that. Like the relationship with ourselves is not really a relationship with ourselves, right? And our relationship with God. So those are the primary relationships, which are blueprint for every other relationship in our lives. So really, relationship work and quantum healing is not like out here, like between you and another person, but it's like, if you want to work on a relationship, you work on you.
Yeah.
Right. If I want to work on a relationship, I work on me, because everything that shows up on the screen of my 3D reality is simply a reflection of what's in my energetic grid. So like, if somebody rejects me, where do I reject myself? How do I reject myself? Where is rejection still in my energetic grid? And that's the work that's to be done.
Yeah. It doesn't sound schizophrenic at all. You know, if anything, that's the biggest thing, that people need to work on themselves. People need to understand themselves. I love the shows, how even more so in the last year, is that there's been so many synchronistic shows. We talked about something very similar last night with a guest last night, if you don't, if you don't have that relationship with yourself, if you don't understand yourself and love yourself, the whole thing, she said, well, the yin and the yang, that you are both masculine and feminine. You are both,
right.
The masculine side is your determination, is you're getting things done, sticking up for yourself, fighting if you have to. The feminine side is your loving, your nurturing, your caring side, the divine child. However old you are, whether you're 6, 16, 26, 96 or 106, you always have an inner child. That inner child needs to be nurtured, so you already have your own relationship. You already have your own there's already a family, the male, the female, and the child is already inside you. And everybody needs to nurture that, because when they don't.
And that's not even all of it.
Yeah.
Because in another quantum healing, like a DIY quantum healing method that I learned from a friend who is not a healer, like he never charges money for any healing that he does. To me, he's a shaman. He's done so much work, like he's learned so much. I'm not gonna go into his journey, but like my discernment is, because of all the Virgo planets, my discernment is really really top notch, and also the Libra and the Sagittarius. Anyway, just I don't know how to prove to people that my discernment is like really top notch. It's like really out there. Like it's like, number one, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? And that's a whole big conversation in itself. Who do you listen to? How do you discern who is credible for you to listen to, right? So anyway, Dean, this friend of mine, is very, very credible for me to listen to, because he's been where I was, and now he's doing really, really well in his life, right? And so he taught me this healing modality, which is like a DIY quantum healing via quantum entanglement. Like you go into the matrix, and then you can go to any part of yourself that has been split off because of stuckness in development, because of trauma. And so it's not only the inner masculine, inner feminine, and the child, but even those ones have different parts split off, right? When we get shocked because of trauma throughout our lives, especially at a very young age, that part of ourselves sort of gets frozen in that moment, like as an energy, as an energetic block in our system somewhere. And we can literally go into our own matrix and go to those parts of ourselves and talk to them and sort of love them back into coherence with the entirety of ourselves. Because otherwise what tends to happen is that, like, let's say I consciously want to go some direction, like I consciously want to do X, and then there is this part of me that is stuck at 5 years old because something happened, and they believe about the world that the world is such, people are such, I am such, money is such, therefore this part of me will pull me into this direction, another direction compared to where I consciously want to go now. Yeah. Anyway, that was just an addition, that our who we are inside is not even just masculine, feminine, blah blah blah. But then at the same time, I am saying that yes, it's not schizophrenic, but it sounds a little bit like that, because like you can't have a relationship with your soul because you are your soul. But at the same time, there really are these different parts of our psyche. But then the psyche and the soul is kind of two different things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that goes into the thing of it depends on your beliefs, or well, where you are. But in the ancient knowledge is that God, we are gods. That God is everything. God is a collective consciousness, and you know that sparks of God or part of that collective consciousness is what creates this reality, and we are all of that. And so and like I said earlier about the barefoot doctor, so in the barefoot doctor, yes, you can split it up more and more. You know, the drag dog shaman says like there's the chi, the jing, the shen, or the mother, the child, and the father, but you can split it up more. You know, you can break it up. You know, if it doesn't quite make sense, you can make it small. It's the fractal. Think of fractals. Yes. You can go smaller and smaller and deeper and smaller and smaller, and you can keep going. That's you know that's the whole point. But it's about finding where you need, you know, how deep do you need to go to reveal that truth, so you can then move on from it. Because you don't want to keep going, because you keep digging forever. You can keep finding stuff forever. That's the whole point. But at some point, you want to be able to find the truth you need to let it go, and then to come back to balance, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's so good. That's so amazing what you said. I just arrived to this point. Like I was reading this book. It's called Fuck It. It's by John C. Parkin, and he's saying, you know, at some point you have to say fuck it to healing.
Yeah.
Because you can go until the cows go home.
Yeah.
And you can go smaller and smaller and further and further, and you can go and like once you've worked through all your trauma this life, then you can go on and try to heal other lifetimes trauma that you're carrying in your system, and that really never ends. And then you can heal other people's trauma, because we are quantum entangled, right? So it's so good what you said, because yes, there is a point where we have to say fuck it to healing, and just you know. And that's where I am, by the way, now, is to just be my soul, like to be embodied, to be the witness. And even that, to be the witness all the time, even that is challenging, because the human is designed so that it has emotions and thoughts, and it reacts, and it has fear reactions, and it has adrenaline, and all that, right? So sometimes it's a challenge to step back and keep being the witness despite whatever happens. But yeah, that's where I am, just being the witness. Just fuck it.
And why not? Why not indeed? Awesome. Okay, so we'll start to wrap up. So is there how can people get hold of you? I've actually already shared your YouTube page on the on my profile, as well as on the page. And then what's going to happen is that it is on YouTube, but what I'll also do is I'll download this onto Facebook, so then go back onto Facebook and people can see it shortly in a bit. So how can people find you, or what other ways can people find you?
Amazing. Thank you so much for already sharing my link.
More than welcome.
And thank you for asking this. Follow me on YouTube. That's the first thing, like because you can see what I do. Like I do readings regularly on YouTube, so people can see what I do, like see if you resonate with my energy. As I do readings and teachings, I do teachings on my YouTube as well. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and under every single video that I ever post, the information for how to actually reach out to me is down under in the description box at every single video that I post. So, but I can tell you that how to actually reach me, if you just want to straight on reach me like right away and you want to talk to me, then go through my website. My website is estécann.com, just simply ESTECANN.com. And then there will be tabs on top. Hang on, I just have to go there to remember exactly. So it's estécann.com, and there's like a menu, like a roll down menu, or whatever you call it, like a roll down menu or whatever. Yeah. You click on that, and there is mentoring. And so if you click on mentoring, there you can reach me there. There's a button for book a session. So then you can also, if you click on Intuitive Tarot in the same menu, in the main menu, if you click on Intuitive Tarot, you can reach me there. Maybe that's the quickest one. If you click on Intuitive Tarot, you can reach me there. There is a form that you can fill in and submit, and you can send me an email anytime. And, you're welcome to follow my Facebook, which is The Naked Truth, Tarot and Things with Esté Cann. It's The Naked Truth, Tarot and Things with Esté Cann. That's my Facebook page. And if you want to find me on Facebook, like with the search, it's like at The Naked Truth with Esté Cann, all lowercase, all one word, at The Naked Truth with Esté Cann. And again, that's the same as the Facebook page, which is called The Naked Truth Tarot. Sorry, The Naked Truth, Tarot and Things with Esté Cann. That's my Facebook, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And then, you can even follow me on Instagram, because I have an Instagram, and my Instagram is kind of a mixture of my fashion modeling and my tarot stuff, and mostly it's about fashion modeling because that's very, very visual, right? Yeah. But I really wish to not separate these two parts of myself. So so follow me on Instagram, and my Instagram is just Esté Cann.
Esté Cann. Cool. Yeah, I'll make sure they're all up on there for you, and I'll stick them on. Well, once it's downloaded, I'll have them. Well, actually.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
It was so amazing talking to you. I'm so honored to be on your show. Thank you so much. And
I actually saw you on Shanine's show.
oh, you have?
Yeah. I watched that show. I was in. That's where I think I don't know if that's when our friend requested you, but that was definitely like I saw that show. Oh, you may have already been my friend. I can't remember now, but I know I saw that show, and then I thought, oh, that's it. I'm sending off a thing to her, because when me, Shanine, Todd Medina, we seem to all our guests seem to hover between us. We sort of shared between us. So yeah, it seems to be this sort of like a communal thing we do. So the guests always hop onto our shows, each other's shows, so it's all good. So, but no, it's been a great pleasure and honor. It's a shame I couldn't have got Facebook to work, but I'm gonna go sort that out now. But yeah, it's been great. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed the show. It's
me too. And it was literally like talking to like this old master, and I just felt so much open heart energy listening to you and talking to you. So thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Well, don't you go anywhere. But everybody else, that's the end of the show. And in actual fact, I'm not sure, because just in case I can't get it off of YouTube, what I'll do is I'll do the well, actually no, I'll just play your intro. I'll play your intro. So for everybody else, I hope you enjoyed the show. We got another show at 4:00, which is Brittany and Bog One Step Beyond, which is a bit of a conspiracy show. And then after that, we have, let me just have a quick look. After that, we have Dawn Livingston on 6:00 tonight UK time, which is 1:00 Eastern. And then at 9:00 UK time, which is 4:00 Eastern, we have Anne Johansson is back on again. She came on a couple of years ago. She's actually from the Faroe Islands, which is just north of Scotland, about 50 miles north of Scotland. So yes, that's a little bit of a we got two American and two around the UK people, or one British, one in England and one nearest to England. So it's a great day for shows. So guys, thank you very much. Until next time, it's love, Chi and Shen from the wonderful Esther.
Thank you. Yes. Bye. Thank you.
From myself, Stevie Buggy. Take care, guys. Bye for now. Did that work? That didn't work.
We are still live, it says.
we're still live. We're still live. I'm just trying to play an outro, and it's not going to play. No, it's all right. So let's just. Oh, there you go now. Now it's playing. Right. So, okay, guys. Right. 1, 2.